YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. Timestamps in the description. I believe at this point this video is probably going to have some length. I've got a couple of different ideas as to how I want to shoot this, but I want to make this a really full video with a lot of depth to it. So utilize the timestamps. Let me start by just giving you the expectations of this video. This is a 77-inch LG G2. We've talked about the development of how we got to getting this TV on the channel, but I will spend some time to talk about it. So we got this in 77-inch. We're going to unbox this TV. We're going to get it mounted on the wall. We're going to take a look at everything that comes within this TV, and we are going to offer you some initial impressions as to what I came from in, both regards. I had the G3 in 55-inch, and also the C1 is currently in the space that this TV is. So we'll have a little bit of talking time, dedicated to the C1 within this video. Also later on the channel, we'll be able to get more into the comparison C1 versus G2, since I am familiar with intimately using the C1 daily. I know that I've had a couple of different subscribers on the channel that have asked me, what my thoughts were, since the G2 is still an active and available TV. And you may be coming from a CX, C9, C1-ish era, you might want to know what this thing is all about. So let me change the camera orientation, and we're going to get to unboxing the 77-inch LG G2 OLED right after this intro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Let's take a little bit of time to talk about why the G2 in 2023, when there are other panel technologies that come out to be better. Why this TV over the next? Well, when I just made the community post, I actually talked about it. This 77-inch makes sense for me because currently, as of right now, 77-inch is what I'm using in a gaming space. LG does such a phenomenal job with producing super low input latency and offering an experience for PC gamers where it's really hard to pass up, what they do offer. I think they just do such a great job. And so since I'm coming from 77-inch, this made sense. Also, I was granted an opportunity to buy this TV for cheaper than the G3. The G3 was like $2,600. This TV was like $2,300 and some change. And it's just good to have good friends. And so, I purchased the G3, and we made content on the channel about the G3. You guys can only really see the box. So we made content about the G3, and, I wanted to like the G3. I bought into it. I thought I had things figured out. As I said, it's the first TV in a long time that has made me really feel like I need to do a better job of researching things. MLA is a nice feature, and I do own two 45-inch monitors from LG, the curved ones. They both have MLA also. So it's a great technology. Now, with the G3, the TV looks great when you're watching a lot of film content, and it performs well when you're doing gaming. It's just that the two don't match in the space that I was trying to use it. So just a refresh, I have 55-inch G3, and it was specifically a gaming TV. And it just didn't work out to be the best for me. Let me get this thing unboxed. We'll be right back. Yeah, so we'll continue getting this thing cut open, doing this by myself. But yeah, so that's my reasoning for getting this TV, right? Beyond that, I am really impressed with how well the C1 has done for me, even after me seeing the QD-OLEDs, which I'm pretty sure my lack of being impressed was in large part to do with the fact that I do own 4 quantum dot OLEDs. I own, was it 4 I own? Yeah, I own all 4 QD-OLEDs. I've been fortunate to, I'm currently an owner of the S90C, S95C, which is the TV that's in this room, A95K and S90C, which I would encourage over the S95B for anybody interested into what Samsung has to offer. I think that seeing those TVs, just kind of put me down a little bit from what I expected from the G3. But what I will tell you is that the C1 has done a great job. I'm very much so liking the TV. And so I really do give a lot of praises to LG, as they are my favorite TV manufacturer. I do like to play games more than anything else. This does come with a wall bracket. I am not going to use this bracket. I just don't need to. I already have a Sanus mount that's on the wall. This should be able to just go right in place where I have the C1. But very impressed with the C1. Been doing a great job. We've got some image retention content that I'd like to talk about that I made in the video yesterday. I do like to shoot my stuff in chronological order so that it all just kind of makes sense for you to just be able to binge watch. Please subscribe if you are new. So we've got a care package here, but image retention is something that I'm dealing with the C1. I got it in 2021 and I got a warranty on it. Now you might have noticed on this box as we were cutting it open, LG speaks specifically to their 5-year warranty. I've never experienced utilizing their warranty. I personally would prefer for myself to deal with the retailer. If you can deal with the warranty issue at the retail level, you can always talk to somebody and try to get a better resolve versus going through the manufacturer. There's just so many potential, fine line bullet points that, might be covered, right? So you think of 5-year warranty. I know it kind of tapers down after a couple of years on certain different things that it may cover. Whereas if you get it from a retailer, man, this thing feels like it's built great. You are pretty much safe to enjoy your TV at its capacity and allow for them to either fix it or get you a replacement. I mean, it's that simple. That's really my sauce. I don't have any shady gimmicks or anything. I don't have like where I'm just renting TVs or nothing like that. Like, I like to buy TVs. I'm pretty consistent with it and have been for some years now. But yeah, that's pretty much where we are. So I need to safely get this thing out of here, and we will be right back. All right, here. So we're going to just take a look at like the contents of the package. Power cord on these LG TVs, not soldered, but they are connected. There's a little door, if you will, on the back of the TV that kind of, connects the cord. So it's not really removable. This TV does come with a wall mount. It's a proprietary mount that's made specifically for this TV. This one works for 77 and 83 inch. It's a fixed mount. It's designed to go on and to be pretty flush to the wall. It's a really clean design. I'm not going to use it just because the Sanus mount that I use allows me to maneuver the mount on the wall. I'll show you that when we get to that point of the video. But it's nice that this is included. Unfortunately, if you needed to connect this thing on a TV stand, you would have to either acquire their base, the LG base, or you would need to buy something like what I use for Sanus. I featured it for my A95K and also for my 77-inch S95C. Sanus is among one of many companies that make bases that, universally will fit these TVs. And, that might work out better if you need to tabletop this thing. So just be conscious of that. The G stands for gallery. Their idea is that you'll put it on the wall. So that's included. You're going to have the remote, which I have the LG C2 in my home. Same exact remote from last year and pretty much from this year too. It's a nice remote. If it's not broken, don't need to fix it. Now, I personally find the Sony, at least Quantum.OLED that I have, and the white OLED that I got reviewed, A90K, to have the best remote. But this is a pretty solid remote. Nothing too fancy about it, but it just feels good. It's light. It's nice, compact. For many customers that might want traditional numbers, you do get that. So you get a nice blend of new modern versus old school with the remote. Comes with 2 AA Bexo batteries. Pretty standard stuff there. IR blaster there. I won't be utilizing that. and an assortment of different manuals is going to come in the box. So this is cool. A lot of people like manuals. They don't want to have to dive into the TV. They've got a manual for WebOS just to kind of go through some different options. That's pretty cool. WebOS is the operating system where you would download their apps. You do need to have a username for that. You can either manually control it, or you can, you can use your app on your phone. Registration card is going to be there. This is a help card right here for you to be able to, have some assistance as to how you should be lifting the TV. They do recommend 2 people to lift the TV if it's a 77 and 83 class. They got that specifically laid out there. You've got your registration card. Got the rest of this is going to be some manual work, comes in different languages, some child safety, just provisions with the manual. On the back, it's got some child safety stuff. So how you should put the TV. Again, it's going to be mounted. And this manual does function as the manual for all the way from 55 to 97 inch class. So that's everything that's in the box. You do also get, quick guide, instruction manual to tell you all the different things that you can do with the remote. So again, for people that might be, accustomed to a traditional remote, you do get a lot of literature within this TV. So nice premium packaging with a nice full complete offering of what's inside the box. All right, so most TVs to date are going to come super thin. OLEDs are going to be really thin. For those that are not familiar, they don't have the traditional backlight system, so they're much thinner. The problem with that comes by way sometimes of how they get packaged and how they manage them. Sometimes your TV might have some bends in it, like the S95C. And so we're just going to take a look at this thing. I want to just make sure that I don't have any kind of damage to it. It was delivered professionally, dropped off. And so if there's any problems, we're going to just kind of get rid of this material. But if there's any problems, then I will definitely let the store know and they'll exchange this thing out. But so far from the look of it, looks very similar to the G3, which, by the way, if I didn't mention, the G3 was my first time owning a gallery TV, and this looks very much so like a G3. Obviously, the 3 is newer, yeah, there's a staple of quality that goes behind the build process of these gallery TVs, where they just, man, they look really awesome. It's kind of like a one frame design, and the way that the mount goes, as I said, it's proprietary in the prior transition. It just pushes the TV on the wall where, it just looks like the TV is just hugging the wall. I mean, it's protruding, but it's like very minimalistic. I'm going to change the positioning of the camera just so you can see all the ports on this thing. It's just amazing. So as I was talking about bends, you've pretty much got like a straight arrow design. This TV is thicker than the average OLED TV that you will see. And because of that, you won't have to deal with the bends. So you're not going to get that razor thin aesthetic like you will with, let's say, a C2, even a C1, where it'll be super thin here and then it gets thicker in the back. This TV is pretty much the same size, more or less all the way through and through. But yeah, it's really nice. You still are getting a super thin design, but so far it's looking physically good. Get you guys back here so we can take a look at these ports. All right, so I'm gonna do my best to just kind of show you some ports. What I like about this design is that everything is pretty much to the right. Everything's here, all your HDMI connections, your traditional OLEDs that are not the gallery style, so the C, the B, the A. You have your HDMI port in the back, as well as your 3 on the side. Because they were conscious of this going on the wall, they've pretty much pushed all of these in. The same level of how far this is exactly the same at the mount area. I'm going to use this pencil just to kind of point this out. So this is the back where the mount would go. That's the VESA there. If you were using a proprietary mount, you do still have the traditional ports or the VESA pattern for you to mount the TV. But if you're using the mount that comes with the TV, it will go right up here. So you would measure according to that. And that will allow the TV to push onto the mount and just kind of flush things on the wall. Now, all the ports that are here, you got some USB-A ports here. You've got your 4 HDMI, all of them 2.1. Your HDMI 2 is your eARC. So just your eARC port. You've got your Ethernet port here, as well as your digital optical. Now your tuner option is going to be at the bottom right here in this vicinity. So that's going to be there for you. And your IR blaster is going to be down here below too. So those two options are going to be the only that are on the bottom in this vicinity, but everything is here. So this thing is designed really, really well. Your extra bit of guts here. This design runs all the way throughout. So it's really, really thoughtful, I think. As I said, traditional OLEDs, even like the C2, C3, they're going to have a super thin design, almost like paper, right? A little bit thicker than that, so to not exaggerate. But when you get down to the bottom, they'll have a thicker gut. This thing is like a one frame design. So you've got the panel, which is protected by heatsink technology. And then you've got this one design there that runs through and through for your guts. They've also got some thought out cable management options too. Let's see if we can get the camera down here. So right here, we've got for us to be able to route cables. So if you got cables coming from here, you can route them straight down. There's another one a little bit lower. I still haven't taken this out of the packaging all the way, but that's a look at the back of the TV. Okay, so let's go into vlog orientation. I've got steady shot on the camera, so hopefully the shaking is not too bad. We're handheld mode with this. This is the game room, right? Very Street Fighter centric, and the content has been shared on the channel before. This is my setup with the 77-inch C1. So pretty much going to get that taken off the wall, and we're going to get the G2 put up on the wall. As I said earlier in this video, the C1 has been amazing, and there's some retention, some content will be created more on this TV. So we're going to focus on the G2 for a little bit as to what we think about it, but you can expect more content on the C1, as I was a day one buyer, week one owner physically of this TV. And it's been used aggressively and then kind of mildly. And then now it's been used a lot again to play tons of Street Fighter, creating content and things of that sort. Also, what's going to be connected to the G2, an NVIDIA RTX 4090 graphics card with an Intel i9 13900K processor. So yes, GPU strong, CPU strong, PC gaming centric, play all kind of titles, some emulation, some fighting games. I have no problem with console. Both of my cabinets in the same room are set up. PS5 on this one, Series X on that one. So just plugging in some content. We've got a couple of different things that we do on the channel. If you're interested in any of this, you can definitely subscribe and just kind of tune in and see that. But yeah, the C1, great option. Really love this TV. Can't say enough good things about it. It's just unfortunate that I know it won't be used in the same capacity it has been. It's actually been a really good thing for me to not enjoy the G3 and 55 that I had, because it opened my eyes up to the fact that the C1 was such a great option. I've just been loving this TV, playing games, learning Street Fighter 6, playing some Dragon Ball Fighters, playing some Zelda, Breath of the Wild, on the Yuzu emulator and such. I'm sorry, the Dolphin emulator. But it's just been all good things. Nothing bad to say about it. The image retention again will be there. Subscribe so you can check it out next week if you happen to have one. And of course, we'll be giving some more opinions about this TV versus the G2. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and get this thing off the wall, and we're going to get the G2 OLED mounted onto the wall in this space. We'll be right back. All right, so we got this TV on the wall. Gave it the white glove treatment. We're going to get this thing peeled. It's heavy as hell, too. So, yeah, this is 77 G2. Big boy. We're coming from that C2. Nice peel. A couple chest pieces falling. It's all good. This thing is beautiful. Doesn't look to have any damages. All right. Yeah, we looking good. All right, so initial setup time. Not much entertainment here. Panel looks good. There's no type of damage or anything from transport. I just got the energy efficient sticker pulled off of there. That went well. You know, the gloves helped, and them actually having the film on top of it is great because I didn't have to clean the TV or anything like that. So gonna get this thing all set up. I do actually need to go get a haircut. So we're gonna take a break here and finish up after I got a nice crispy cut. So I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. Obviously it'll be next transition, but yeah, we'll be right back. All right, man. First, I want to just give a quick shout outs to my barber for keeping me crispy and in the game, man. Yes, thank you. Thank you for keeping me clean weekly when I need it, bro. But all right, man, let's just talk about my initial thoughts about this TV. Just kind of looking at this thing. Beautiful. Listen, what I'm experiencing is exactly why people talk so much about brightness with OLED TVs. We want brighter, 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 brighter. It has to be done right, obviously. And let me tell you, coming from being a G3 owner, MLA is fantastic. It's very, very nice. I think it could be more refined. And for me, as I said already, in the gaming space, the G3 didn't work out for me. This TV right now, what I'm doing is I haven't even dialed anything in. What I've done was just pretty much get it in game mode. So get the optimizer set up. And it's just like looking at my screensaver. It's flat right now because I haven't fine-tuned any colors to be the way that I want them to look. But the overall picture is brighter, and it's brighter in a way where it's articulated well. And coming from being a C1 owner to a G2 owner, definitely going to be something that you're going to see. I even seen it from the C2. Listen, I love the C2. Last year, the C2 was my favorite TV over everything else because I play games more than I do anything in terms of watching content and entertaining myself. Gaming for me is a means for me to be interactive. When I'm sitting down watching TV, which by the way, right now I'm binge watching Gotham. I'm still on season 1, I think episode 15 on the S95C. I digress. I just play video games more than I watch TV. And so the C2 was very much so enjoyable. And coming from the C1, I really enjoyed that little bit of extra brightness and, you know, kick that the C1 has. So this TV gives me that warm tube base that is just perfect. And I really like it. This TV does not, for me right now, just out of the box with Game Optimizer, doesn't look the same as the G3. You know, I've read some comments where people feel like, you know, the G3 out of the box is more accurate. I'm not here to really talk about that. I'm not the person for that. My content is more vlog day in the lifestyle with these TVs and with technology. But what I can tell you is initially, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dial in some more settings so we can talk a little bit more. Yeah, man. Okay, so now basically, you know, I've got my desktop set up and I got colors pretty much set exactly to how I had them with the C1. And there's just, you know, there's that increase in brightness and the right amount of vividness. And the warm base on LG is just done so well. Like, listen, I'm telling you, I'm rejoicing. I really am, because I'm in a space, a good space where, you know, I've got this TV and I got it at a great deal, and I've got an upgrade for what I landed on using, just because, you know, we went from the G3 to the C1 and now I have the G2. So this is a perfect sweet spot. Just the distance that I'm at, man, this great size and everything. You know, I just loaded up Street Fighter 6 and, you know, was just messing around in the training room with this thing. And, you know, everything just looks really good. You know, I can't wait to get more, you know, into like using this thing. But right now, I think like I can't say more than to say that I'm in a good space with what I need this to be. I think this will be a great TV for me for a couple of years to come. I can't see myself really jumping, you know, to go after anything else from LG for a little while. I think I need to see some serious innovation, but what I would love to see is a QD-OLED panel from them. I seriously would. I'd love to see the quality of build and maybe make the gallery a quantum dot. I mean, that would be really dope, I think. But, you know, this is me wish listing. Let's talk about the C1 real quick, though. Here's the C1. We got it set up in the rec room. Was a dining room, but, you know, kind of utilizing it this way. You know, this is going to make my kids extremely happy because my daughter is very much so into watching TV down here, bringing a ton of dials, and I've shared that with you guys. And this TV just looks absolutely great. We are going to be making more content on this TV specifically. Next week, we're going to be going into like, the image retention stuff that we talked about yesterday. This is a whole entire journey that I've been taking you guys on since I started with this TV. This was pretty much the TV that kind of cascaded, me doing technology stuff. Before this, I was playing a few games in Street Fighter V, and I wasn't really too motivated to make content, but this is a hobby that I've always been in, and I figured, this was my niche, was to do this kind of stuff. And so I've shot this content not in the traditional review way. I've shot it in a way where, I just bring you on day in the life. So next week, we're going to be talking about this TV and exactly what the verdict was. It has some image retention, and if you're interested in knowing about that, I've made content on my C9, which I no longer own. I gave it away about a month ago. I had about 14,000 hours on it. My C1, which is right here, has plus 4,000 hours, and it does have some burn-in. I have ran the pixel refresh on this thing as of date. Damn, it looks really good, doesn't it? But I've ran a pixel refresh on this thing a couple of days ago, but it does have some burn-in on it. Nothing noticeable now, but once you start looking at it, it just kind of is what it is. But the 77-inch was very inviting with this TV, as I said in earlier transitions of this video. If you skip through, great TV. If you own one, definitely rejoice. You made a good job, good decision. I've got this TV connected to pretty much nothing. We're going to be having the apps there, but I've got an RTX 3070 small form factor build down there that I'm going to use to kind of test some stuff and make it so that when I have a technician coming next week, they'll be able to kind of see, what I was seeing as I was gaming and stuff like that. It's really important to do that. But I told you guys in the beginning of this video, I was going to have a ton of different talking points. So, if you skip past, use the timestamps to go back. But that's kind of what we've got. We've unboxed the G2. We've gave you some initial impressions. I really like what I see, and there's going to be much more content to follow. We'll do some comparison content of this versus that. And you guys just need to let me know whatever y'all want to see. We've also got this 45-inch monitor that does have MLA, right? 45-inch OLED, ultra wide. We've got this twice. We did the initial review on this thing. I gave that one to my son, then I picked it up again. This is currently a nice space for me to be able to create content in the same room next to where we've got the C1. So we'll get around to making some more content. There's a conglomerate of different things on the channel, but tune in. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you've already subscribed, thanks. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you're leaving likes, leave some comment. Let's have some engagement, share, all of that ways you want to support. Hit the thanks button. We're going to get more content going, but I can only get that going if we've got dialogue and you tell me what you want to see. But I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. Peace. God bless. And as always say, max love.